this point, it's over. That whole Sky Barbie thing, that thing is over. Angel Reese is done in Chicago. They're going to move on. They have to. With what Courtney Vandersloot just came back and said, Courtney Vandersloot just smoked Angel Reese. And you know who else is going in on Angel Reese? You got Nightcap with Unk and Ocho, Shannon Sharp and Chad Johnson going in on this Angel Reese situation. She didn't think it was going to go this way.
Legends don't speak unless they're pushed, and when a two-time champion and one of the most respected point guards in WNBA history decides to draw a line in the sand, you know the situation has gone nuclear. Courtney Vandersloot's recent comments weren't just a defense of her career, they were a direct shot fired across a fractured locker room. The target, Angel Reese. The message was brutally clear. The Chicago Sky has a problem, and it's a problem that's spiraling out of control faster than anyone imagined. This wasn't just...
If you're going to go at a legend, you better not miss. As we know, Angel Reese come out this week. She absolutely crushed her own teammates into the dust, and she even decided to go after a legend. The legendary Courtney Vandersloot, who, of course, blew out her ACL at the beginning of the season, and she is in the midst of making a comeback. And, of course, Angel Reese made some comments that were none too kind to a legend. Angel Reese will be lucky if she has a third of the career.
Angel Reese built her career on chaos. From her LSU days to her explosive entry into the WNBA, she has thrived in the center of the storm. But whispers from inside the Chicago Sky locker room suggest her brand of drama is starting to poison her own team. Sources claim that during Courtney Vandersloot's grueling recovery from a foot injury, Reese wasn't offering support. Instead, she was allegedly questioning if the veteran was washed up, suggesting the team couldn't rely on an old player to return to form. It was a shocking claim that went far beyond
rookie team. Angel will not have the career that Courtney Vandersloot has had. She won't. You know why? Because I don't think the league's going to tolerate her long enough. She's going to run her mouth until she just ends up jumping from team to team until she does what I think she should do right now.
In the world of professional sports, there's one sacred rule. What happens in the locker room stays in the locker room. This isn't just a cliche, it's the bedrock of trust that allows a group of individuals to function as a single unit. It's the understanding that you can argue, disagree, and even clash behind closed doors, but to the outside world, you present a united front. This code is what separates championship teams from dysfunctional messes. Breaking it is seen as the ultimate betrayal, an act that tells your teammates you value...
I don't know, Angel Reese. This is what Courtney Vandersloot had to say. She's firing off. Angel Reese, you got her twisted. She said, contrary to what people think, what people say or think, my age is actually not a factor. I am coming back. This is after Angel Reese said, yeah, Sloot is old. We need somebody young that can do this, that got some experience, but we need somebody young. She too old. I don't know if she can come back from that torn ACL.
And that's the line Angel Reese allegedly crossed. Not just by a little, but by a mile. She seemed to take that sacred code and light it on fire. By reportedly airing her frustrations with Vandersloot's recovery publicly, she committed the one sin that veterans never forgive. This wasn't a slip of the tongue in a post-game interview. It felt like a calculated move. It was a declaration that she believes she is bigger than the team, bigger than the veterans who paved the way, and bigger than the unspoken rules that hold the league together.
Oh, but she's on video now, and she's made a direct shot. Courtney has answered the shot from Angel Reese. And I got to be honest with you. How much, here, I'm going to speculate out loud. How much shit was Angel Reese talking in that Chicago Sky locker room last year around Kennedy Carter about Caitlin Clark? All right, think about that a minute. The influence there. I got to tell you, I don't think it was Kennedy Carter that blew that locker room up. I think it was Angel Reese.
And that's when Courtney Vandersloot decided she had heard enough. She didn't engage in a messy social media battle. She didn't leak anonymous quotes. She did something far more powerful. In an interview, when asked about her return, she looked directly into the camera and delivered a cold, calculated message. She stated that, contrary to what some people might think, her age was not a factor, and she was coming back stronger than ever. It was a masterclass in controlled fury. She didn't need to scream to be heard. Her legacy gave her words a weight that Reese's couldn't match.
Sloot wasn't going for it. And I'm going to tell you right now, Courtney Vandersloot has won a title in Chicago, and she will not be playing with Angel Reese next year. I'm going to tell you that right now. Angel Reese is good as gone. Good as gone.
The entire saga was amplified by the now infamous half-game suspension Angel Reese received. It was a punishment so laughably light it did more to expose the team's weakness than it did to discipline their star. A 20-minute benching for conduct detrimental to the team? The league saw it as a joke. This wasn't discipline, it was comedy. It was a desperate move by a front office terrified of upsetting their ticket-selling lightning rod, but it sent a clear message to the other players. There are no real consequences for Reese. That one decision revealed just how deep the chaos in Chicago. This puts the team's coach, Teresa Weatherspoon, in an impossible position. A legendary player in her own right, Weatherspoon is known for her fiery passion and demand for accountability. Yet, she appears powerless to rein in her young star. The week suspension makes the coach look like she has no control over her own locker room. Is she being overruled by the front office, who are more concerned with jersey sales? Or is she complicit, choosing to enable Reese's behavior in the hopes that her talent will eventually outweigh the drama? Either way. Meanwhile, as Reese was seemingly at war with her own team, her biggest rival was at war with the entire league. Caitlin Clark was getting hammered nightly, facing brutal physicality and non-stop defensive pressure. You saw her get knocked down, get frustrated, and argue with the ref. Yet, you never heard a single report of her throwing a teammate under the bus. She was taking the hits, getting back up, and focusing on one thing, making the Indiana Fever better. The contrast in leadership couldn't be more stunning. But the comparison goes beyond just leadership and extends to on-court production and impact. While Angel Reese is a phenomenal rebounder, a machine on the glass who brings relentless energy, her overall offensive game is still developing. Caitlin Clark, on the other hand, is already the engine of her team's entire offense. She's not just scoring, she's a generational passer who elevates everyone around her. While Reese generates headlines for her conflicts, Clark generates them for her record-breaking stats. One player's impact is measured in drama. This drama has spilled over into their fan bases, creating a toxic online environment. Any journalist, fan, or former player who dares to criticize Angel Reese is immediately swarmed by a digital army. The attacks are personal, nasty, and relentless, reflecting a brand that seems to thrive on an us-against-the-world mentality. Caitlin Clark's fans, on the other hand, are focused on celebrating her records and defending her from on-court aggression. It shows a fundamental difference in what each player represents. One embodies conflict, the other competition. The comparison that keeps surfacing for Angel Reese is Draymond Green, and the parallels are impossible to ignore. Both are fiery, emotional players who live on the edge and rack up technical fouls. They are the enforcers, the agitators who get under opponents' skin with a mix of physical play and relentless trash talk. But there's one colossal difference that changes everything. Draymond Green has 4 NBA championship rings. His controversial behavior is tolerated because it's a proven part of a winning formula. Angel Reese has. The long-term damage from this internal conflict could be catastrophic for the Chicago Sky's future. Top-tier free agents talk to each other, and no one wants to walk into a locker room that feels like a reality TV show. Why would a respected veteran sign with a team where a sophomore player is publicly questioning the legends? Reese claims she wants to win championships and bring better players to Chicago, but her actions may be actively sabotaging that goal. She is poisoning the well for the very talent she claims to want around her. Ultimately, the blame for this mess extends all the way to the top. The Chicago Sky's front office has shown a staggering lack of leadership. By handing out a pathetic slap on the wrist for Reese's suspension, they signaled that they are either unable or unwilling to control their young star. They look spineless. They seem to be prioritizing her marketability over the team's chemistry, a dangerous game that almost never ends well. Their cowardice has allowed this drama to fester. What makes this situation even worse is the sheer disrespect for the game's veterans. In any league, the players who have paid their dues and won at the highest level command a certain level of deference. For a young player like Reese to allegedly dismiss Courtney Vandersloot, a 7-time assist champ, reveals a profound immaturity. It shows she doesn't understand that championships are won with a mix of young talent and veteran wisdom. By alienating the exact type of player she should be learning from, Reese is stunning her own growth. At the heart of it all is a fundamental question. Is Angel Reese more focused on her game or her brand? Every move she makes seems calculated to generate headlines and fuel the Bayou Barbie persona. She has become a master of controversy, but that skill doesn't win basketball games. Her on-court antics often overshadow her genuine talent. While other young stars are in the gym perfecting their craft, Reese is often at the center. This isn't just about her relationship with Courtney Vandersloot anymore. This kind of behavior creates cracks throughout the entire locker room. Other players see it. They see the special treatment, the lack of accountability, and the public drama. It forces them to choose sides, creating factions and destroying the unity a team needs to survive a long season. How can players like Marina Mabrey or Dana Evans trust their teammate when they see her publicly undermining one of the most respected players in the game? The silence from the rest of the roster is deafening. The ripple effect of this drama extends beyond Chicago. The WNBA is currently experiencing an unprecedented surge in popularity, largely driven by the arrival of Caitlin Clark and the intense rivalries she has sparked. The league is finally getting the mainstream attention it deserved, but Reese's constant controversies threaten to hijack that positive momentum. Instead of stories about record-breaking viewership and incredible on-court performances, headlines become dominated by locker room. So where does Angel Reese go from here? She's at a dangerous crossroads. Her talent is undeniable, but her reputation is becoming toxic. She could either mature into a leader who channels her fire productively, or she could become a cautionary tale, a player whose baggage became too heavy for any team to carry. Courtney Vandersloot's calm, powerful response didn't just end a debate. It exposed the difference between a professional and a personality, and now the entire league is watching to see which one Angel Reese decides to become. What do you think? Is Angel Reese's behavior just passionate competitiveness, or is she becoming a toxic force in the WNBA? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.